Morning, guys. This is Hank, and
This is Lars.
it is February 27th, 0004, and we're getting ready to go in and ask some questions, and we'll see what comes through. I hope you enjoy this. As the door opens, I want you to tell me everything that you see.
I see a galaxy.
Ah, very nice.
It's a big galaxy.
Is it possible to walk through the door?
Yes.
And I want you to walk through the door and tell me what it feels like when you step in, and what do you step onto as you step in?
I'm just floating in the space, but I see a white light coming.
Ah, very good. Is it coming quickly or is it moving slow?
Rather quickly it's coming and it's bright.
Very good. How does it feel?
It feels so good. It feels like a bliss.
Doesn't hurt your eyes to look at it, does it?
No, not at all.
Very good. And let the light come and let it either absorb you or tell me what happens as it comes.
Greetings. Greetings from the star nation of Orion. We come to you because we heard that you have a lot of questions, and we would like to enlighten you in this as good as we possibly can. We can tell you that you all carry the universe inside of you. You all is a part of everything exists. You are a part of the source. You are a part of the big family in universe. And all of them is an expression of you that you're carrying with you inside. You're carrying it, but have no access to it. But we will try to help you getting access to that information that you already have. You need to widen your view in that way that you now is just looking through a little spotlight, like from a flashlight. If you can understand, if you're walking into a big warehouse and only carrying a flashlight, you have no idea how big this warehouse is. You can just see the small part that you're shining your flashlight at. You can focus on different things, but cannot get the whole picture. And now imagine the lights turn on in this warehouse, and you can see the whole thing, the whole warehouse of every wonderful things that you have been connected to and are connected to. And now we turn the light off, and you just can use your flashlight to see small things in the warehouse, but you are aware of how it was. Thus, you all carry inside that knowledge. The best way to access that knowledge is to do what gives you joy in life, what you feel make you really happy, what you give you satisfaction in what you do. That is so important. That will open that curtain for you and turn on the light again. You can do this just helping with small things, not have to be so big. Just feel joy in the work you're doing. That's the most important. Just to have laughter. Just to be allowed to love, be loved, and to give love to every living being you meet. If you will be still and just think of nothing, clear out the chatter going on in your brain, just be here and now and understand that you is a part of everything, and understand that everything is an aspect of you, and everything is connected to the source. All feeling, all experience, all images, everything is connected, and you are part of that, and everything is part of you. When you come into this density, you're going through a kind of wash where you not longer can access this so easily. You could when you were a little girl or boy, because the connection was so close to you, but then you get these all wrong connections entering into you through school, through media, through everything around you, tell you the exact opposite of the reality. Don't believe that, and you will awake again. Just be quiet, just be here, just be now. And now we leave you with this message.
Very good, beautiful, and we're grateful that you have come forward. And you know, of course, that we have questions. So I'll start off. We didn't make a list, but we're sort of playing it by ear. It is told that our origins on the earth come from the Orion's the Orion's belt, or in that area of space. Would that be accurate?
You have all been here. You have all been a part of this, and everything is a part of everything. So you have been everywhere in this universe in a very long time. All is coming from the source. The source is not bound to a place or a star system, but we all started our journey from different aspects of what we have to bring to the source.
Understood.
But many of you have been in the field of Orion, star family, many coming from the different galaxies. When you decided to come to Gaia, Earth.
Very good. And are you a collective energy from the Orion, the area of Orion, that is bringing this message forward now?
I can see that I am you and you am I. And we are all different aspects of the same source.
I understand that, but you said in the beginning, you mentioned Orion, so I was just going off of that.
There is where I receive this message from.
Ah, very good. And we understand our oneness, and I believe a majority of the listeners to this understand our oneness, and we thank you for expressing it so wonderfully and clearly. What else are you receiving that you could share with us in this moment? What message would you have for those who are listening in?
We feel that many people living in their mind, we all have personality, we all have a me, but we all are also connected. So if you leave the personality for a moment and just be in the moment, then you will wake up. And as I told you before, it's very important to be silent, not to clutter the message that coming to you.
A lot of people on the planet have a hard time trying to stop the chatter, especially our young people here. What message would you have for our young people? So many of them are having a hard time trying to stop the thoughts going on in their mind. Advice, please.
There's a lot of good literature written on authors that were enlightened. There's so many things you can do. You can do meditations, you can do hypnosis, you can do many different kind of methods to shut out the shattering going on. And most of all, don't believe everything you hear. Don't just take it in as a truth, because there is always two sides of a coin. Always two sides of everything. And sorry to say that the school system on Gaia have for many, many years been a growing ground or a ground for taking
a breeding ground for disinformation.
Yes, I have trouble translate with.
It's okay. This is not Lars's, English isn't Lars's first language. So in the moment, could we ask communication angels or to help Lars with the interpretation, please? Just that unconditional love that helps break
the
down.
school is trying to make soldiers of you, and you don't need that
Very good.
information.
Very good.
You need to break free of all this shit that is putting into your mind. Just check it out. Don't take it as a fact. Just check everything out, and you will be enlightened. And also feel joy. Do the things that bring you joy in your life.
Ah, very good. Interestingly enough, one of the things that we've heard a lot about the Orion and that area of space is about wars that went on or that are going on in this very moment. What what can you elaborate on us just to help us with this information that we're receiving as such?
We are aware of all these rumors that the negative energy want to transmit to you. There is no war in this area, but it has been very much so in earlier time. In a couple of 1,000 years, in the way you count, there's been battles between wills and star families, but that is now put to end by the energy of the source.
Understood. Are some of the messages that are coming through messages from, in our linear experience, from a long time ago, and that's why there are people reporting them as if they're happening?
It can be so, but it also is a little bit of fear in every one of you that you need to set aside, because it affects you in a way where the energy flow will stop and you will not get the whole picture.
Understood. How easy is it for, say, in this session that we're doing here, in the induction, we are surrounding ourselves with love and light and positive energy, and we're reaching and desiring to have a communication with a positive entity such as, we would say, yourself. But how easy is it for a negative entity to come into this type of scenario and just lie to us? And I'm talking about us doing this session here, to be clear.
If they really are going under in this form of activity, they will not lie. But if they come in with a negative energy, they will not be able to go in any deeper stage. They will just think they receive, but it's their mind playing tricks at them. So they are just listen to the mind, not the soul. The soul keeps all knowledge of everything, and you all have it. And there is a lot of fear-mongering going on, but it's also coming to an end in a near future, because it will be revealed for you in a way that nobody can deny.
We are very excited about that, and I am very happy that you made that clear. I have many people who have a desire to work with me and to have these type of sessions, and the first thing they say, how do I know it's not my mind? And they also say, what if something negative comes through? And I tell them it's not built into the technique when you do it properly. And that's just
negative energy is not built into your soul. The negative is just built into your personality, and you have to leave the personality out of this in all times.
very good. And if we were to ask, and because, well, I'm going to ask, so how would you identify yourself individually, as opposed to, we know that you're a collective, we're all connected to source and there's only one. But of course, we're in a linear expression here on the earth, on Gaia. How would you...
I am a being that is a part of everything that is aspect of everything. I am not flesh and blood. I am not manifested in a body at the moment. I am a free soul that brings this message through to you, because that was my desire. I bear no name. I bear no signification or a label you can put on me. I'm just an aspect of everything.
Excellent. And we are very appreciative that you would come forward to us today and to share your message of love and connection.
We are aware that this is what you're trying to do, and want so much to help you to be able to connect back to the source in a way that is what meant to be, that has been denied for you for so long time by different entities, by different purpose, and we are helping you. Have been done that for a couple of, you call it, years now. It started up to vibrate higher in the year of 2012, and it's still rising to a higher vibration for every month that is passing. And more of you is searching the happiness, and don't be misled by different religions. That is only one other way to control you. Be open with your soul, not with your personality, or not with your belief. Be open with your soul.
Very good. That is another beautiful message, and we are very appreciative for that as well. We hear that it is the most incredible time to be alive on the planet Earth. Could you elaborate on why it's such a beautiful and amazing time to be alive on the planet Earth, from your perspective?
It's amazing because you're coming back to the knowledge you have had in the past. You all have heard about different societies and different communities in the past. You're talking about different ages, the ages of the Egypts, the ages of Atlantis. Back then, you have much more enlightenment than you have now. But they were misinterpreted as gods. And in one way, you all are gods. You are all connected to that source. But it's not an entity that is called God. It's not a person that is called God. It's just an energy that is God.
Understood.
Energy of love, understanding, respect that you all have to share.
And these communities, and that is understood, and thank you for the clarification, these communities that you speak of, as you were speaking of them, we hear there's communities that are on the planet, and we hear that there are communities that are under the planet or under the crust of the planet. Could you speak upon the communities that we hear, such as the Agarthans, and will there be a connection soon with those, or?
There is some entities having what you call bases, but not in the under the earth. It's in the oceans.
Ah, very good.
They are there just to be accessible for all the beings coming in through your realm to help and assist you in this race, because it's not always so easy to higher the frequency. It's also making many of you can say, feeling funny. You can hear ringing in your ears. You can be sweating with no apparent reason. And you can have all different kind of bodily experience. And all of that is because what's going on now, the frequency is getting higher and higher, and it's not so easy for every being on this density to adapt to that in their bodies. And some of you have decided to leave their bodies to be able to raise in a higher rate, and some of you can and will raise in that higher rate, even in this density you are living in now. But then you have to release your soul and put aside the personality that say no and never and so on. That is so very important.
Oh, very good. Very, very good.
I hope we can clarify this for you, but we also understand that it's very hard to understand all messages we are sending, because you had to be in some kind of awareness to receive this message and understand them. But you all will do that in due time, and you are assisted by the star nations all over the universe in this task. So you are not alone, and remember, you are never alone, because you are a part of everything.
Very good. We are familiar with the star nations, and we are familiar with the underwater civilizations. It's been, of course, debated and all that, but of course, Lars and I have total faith in that knowing and information.
We can tell you that all is working for all good now. And of course, there are energies trying to benefit from this. There are energies that are trying to stop this happening, because they are so deep into the wrong energy field, and they are in some way getting blocked now in this timeline, because they are having an effect on you all. So when we told you that don't rely on everything you hear, check it out. You have so many sources you can go through, and don't take everything for being the truth.
Very good. We are under the understanding that there's really no right or wrong. There's just choice. And from what we're understanding is that Source has made a decree that the planet will rise into this higher vibration, and resistance, no matter what, is futile.
That is so.
Very good. Very good. And anything else? I'm sorry.
I can say that you are in a very good timeline living on this planet now, because so many of you before had to leave without reaching what they were setting out to do for themselves in their contracts. And now more and more of you fulfilling this, and all aspects of karma is not playing any role at all. So you can just leave that aside. There is no aspect of that in this timeline.
Very good. Is it easy? Is it so easy to to release karma by just forgiving all trespasses and forgiving yourself?
Just love. Love yourself. Love your neighbors. Love every living being. And you will be released from everything. There is no judgment. There is no court you have to pass and stand to in front of a judge. There is nothing like this. It is just you realizing where you eventually went on the wrong path. And that is only for your self-enlightening.
I've always believed that. As far as karma is concerned, is that correct, what you're speaking of?
Yes.
Very good. Very, very good. Thank you. The star nations that are here, to what extent could you elaborate on their interactions with us? We hear that there are not allowing any nuclear explosions ever to occur on Gaia again, and it's been this way for years. Would that be a correct statement? We're talking about...
They are certainly monitoring these activities, but there can be still some, maybe not nuclear weapons activated, but they are certainly monitoring this very closely, very closely.
You said maybe not.
We cannot see that anything like this will ever happen again.
Oh, very good.
We have already, through several star nations, disarmed your nuclear weapon, not only in the United States or Russia, elsewhere in the world, where it was not have any knowledge of them having this capacity. They are now being disarmed.
Very good. I bring this up because that is part of the fear-mongering that's going on the planet. Ooh, they're saying Korea has the nuclear capability, and I keep trying to say, even though they have the capability, they won't be able to use it. So...
That is so.
Very good. Thank you very much for reiterating that as well.
And the Star Nation is coming in contact you in a more physical way with many of you in this timeline. And all that want to debunk and ridicule this, don't listen to them. They are trying to lie because they are scared. And a feeling of fear is so much a stop of your development.
Are the ones that are promoting the fear in major fear themselves?
Definitely so. They need to receive more love than perhaps the next person.
So we as light workers on the planet should be sending them unconditional love, would you say?
That will be so beneficial for them to receive this love. Don't ridicule them. Don't make them feel like they are stupid. Just recognize their fear and just send them love.
Understood. I know a lot of people worry about the chemtrails and the GMO foods and those type of things. But it's under my understanding is as we are created in the image of Source, with our thoughts and our beliefs and our intentions, we can change the energy of anything that we eat and any illness and sickness that may come upon us by these nefarious methods.
These different methods is going on, but the more you're awake, the more you are aware of what's going on, and more of you now living on this planet is waking up to realize that this is going on, and then it automatically will stop because they cannot hide behind anything more, because you have never before heard of this tampering with foods, and now a lot of you are aware of it and questioning it, and that is good because you're putting all on the table to see with clear eyes, and you will stop that going on in the future.
Ah, very good. And the statement that I made about us being able to pray over our food or put positive energy on our food is effective as well. Is it?
If you attend with positive feelings, if you say pray, it will not be in a way of religion, because you are not praying to someone, you're praying for something, and that's the difference.
Exactly. That's what. Very good for clarifying that, but that would have been my next statement. Not to just to change the energy, holding the intent to change the energy and feeling it with all of your heart. And I love the way you said feeling it so that was really good.
That is the way you eliminate all that bad influence. It will never be able to affect your body if you send that love and energy into what you eat. Then all eventuality that they put bad thing in your food will not have an effect on your body if you're doing this with the right intention.
Very good. Thank you very, very much for that as well. Another item of concern with a lot of people, especially I teach, and there's a lot of young college age students that I have, and they're becoming mothers and fathers with their spouses, and they have been concerned about the vaccines that the babies are getting. Could you give us any information that would help them? Because I know they're listening in to these sessions on how to handle, because it's enforced in this country. And
there is so many different attention behind this vaccine thing. But if you do as we told you, not just accept, but research and go with your intuition, then you will be led in the right direction by your own knowledge you already have. And there have been some kind of experiment through vaccine and other medicine.
Medications. Okay, very good. I'm sorry.
Yes, and that was experiment to still have control over you. But if you take back your control, how can anything then control you? It's not possible.
Thank you. Very good for that as well. We're also wondering about, they say that we've been told, or it's been leaked, or maybe it's disinformation, that they have devices that can see into the future, in our linear time future, and they're looking in and seeing things in advance. And is any of that possible to circumvent this ascension process? Although I know it is futile, their attempts, but these are just questions that people have, and this is an opportunity. Please.
I'm not sure that I understand your question, but I will try to answer.
Okay, they say
who is looking into the future?
The elites, or what you would call the dark cabal.
Yes, you are right. They try to experiment with some technique that they got a good time back from entities that not have the best interest in their mind, and they will not be able to do this because the future has already happened.
Understood, yes.
So if you're looking forward or looking backward, you see nothing. It's now that is important, and now is what only exists.
Very good. Thank you very much for that. In our linear experience, this is another thing that had been put out, and a lot of people are hearing this information, of course, which is why I'm asking these particular questions, to be clear, that this process, they're trying to drag it out for another 100 years, and from these sessions, I've been told in the next 5 years, the entire planet will be totally different, and we will be out of this negative vibrational frequency bandwidth.
They will not be able to drag this happening into what you call the future, because it's already been going on for some time, and it's vibrating in a more rapid way for every month that is passing. So you can say 5 years, then most of you will be enlightened, and perhaps some lingering still in fear, but we will try to help them also. And you can all, as being as one, also help them to get past this. So if you send love energy, and understanding and respect to them that want to stop all happening just because of fear, then you're helping them a lot.
Very good. Have you ever been physically manifest as a physical being on a planet in this type of density as on Gaia?
I have not.
Very good. Interesting. Because I was going to ask you, what does it, and we know the future has already happened and everything is in the forever moment of right now. Could you let the listeners know, or could you elaborate on what it'll look like on the other side of this process that we're going through as we shift into this higher vibration? I know we're doing it now and in the process of it, but in the long run, or what we call the long run in our physical, because we're still experiencing everything linearly, what does it look like on the other side of this?
Man is still just see in the light of the flashlight, but soon the floodlight will be turned on for many of you, and you will see the whole warehouse of everything that is. As we told you before, you will be able to connect to everything. You will be able to see whatever task you have had. You will be able to see whatever possibility you have.
So those who have passed on, say in, like I say, in this linear expression, will we have access to them again?
Certainly, they are aspects of you.
Oh, very good. And
you will be able to access anything you desire to access. And you will have this knowledge. And when you're passing over from this lifetime, you will also be enlightened in a very, very different way than you're perceiving the life you have now. It's like I said, looking in the beam of a flashlight, everything you do. But you need to turn on the light in this big warehouse that we were talking about earlier.
Understood. It, from my understanding, the purpose for us lowering ourselves into this density and to these physical bodies to have the experience of the opposite of what we're not, and now we're moving back to what we are, or the recognition of what we absolutely are. It was under my understanding that we are to do this with the physical bodies that we have, as opposed to having to pass and physically die and then to finally go through to these higher dimensions